Can't make a show about putting a V8 in a Miata without some rain in the background. Why is it always raining? So this episode, hopefully I'll be removing the dash. I don't know if I'm gonna... Wow, it's really dark in here. Let's try and lighten it up a bit. So that passenger side door doesn't open from the outside, of course. So I've got this kind of desk lamp clamped onto the sun visor. And with the door open, I'm gonna walk around and try and plug it in. How's that look? Yeah, that lights it up pretty good. Let me show you the carpet on the passenger side. My guess, the heater cord blew up. I'm gonna do my best to try and film everything, but it's already gonna be tight working conditions, so I may just be describing what I'm doing instead of actually showing you real time. But we'll see. First I'm gonna clean out this crap and maybe I can set up the camera, kind of like a camera rig right here. Motor oil. That would probably explain what's going on down here. Sometimes in cars you find not the most useful thing. But sometimes you do. A new 13mm socket just for me. We're gonna try out this camera angle and see how it goes. Any kind of little thing I'm just gonna toss. It's just gonna be in my way. Bunch of plastic clips in here though. I think you're supposed to start with the shifter trim bezel. Try taking the knob off. There's one plug in the back for the cigarette lighter. Just take that boot out. It looks like it's supposed to be attached to a bunch of stuff, but it wasn't. Looks like a bunch of screws holding down the center console piece. A really nifty cup holder. Front looks to be 7mm. Yeah, it looks like there was supposed to be 4 screws at least holding this front part in, but well, you know, one's good enough. And then I'll try working on this back console. That looks like it's held in by maybe 2 Phillips head screws. Here's that nifty cup holder I was talking about. That's pretty cool, actually. Here's a little tip. If you're not using something and it has threads, put it back on so you don't lose where it goes. Plus, it doesn't look right without the ball on top. I see 2 more bolts holding down the center console underneath that insert. They're also 7mm. Looks like some of the connectors and wires are still stuck on it. Make sure to unplug any that you come across. After you get that really hard to get to plug that's underneath the center console, it should just quote unquote lift right out. Yeah, it's starting to come down now. So after I got that center console out, let's take a look and see what we got. So we got a penny, some extra bolts, always good. Oops. A dime, that's good. Razor blade, alright. Some more coins. Actually, there's a bunch down here. Oh yeah. So, I don't know, I don't have enough light. I don't really want to stick my hand anywhere now that I found a razor blade. These seats are actually electric, which is super surprising because this is supposed to be the base interior, but they also don't work. So yeah, that's great. Next thing we gotta do is figure out how to take out this whole center console. I'm guessing that there's gonna be some screws okay, maybe it just comes out. Oh yes, should be, yep, there's the antenna, and then we got one large connector for the radio, and some other broken clips. They were like that when I got here. You can usually tell the quality of work of someone by how they do their electrical connections. Twist locks. I'm going to go ahead and keep the connector with the radio. That way I don't have to buy a new one. I did try turning this on in the car. It does get power, but no sound was coming out of it. But I'm not sure that the Mustang actually has any speakers hooked up. So we will have to bench test this later. But in all reality, this is probably what's going to go in the Toyota Echo. Next thing, I think we're going to remove the glove box. I think there's a few bolts I need to get to. What's that? Looks like they just jammed a screw in because the thing probably flops loose. Just like that. Turns out that wasn't everything. Underneath there's like a piano hinge with 3 more screws in it. Next up, I'm going to remove the hvac controls. It's held in by 4 T20 Torx screws. With the Torx out, it should hopefully just pull out. Those are big connectors. Most connectors can normally be undone with a flathead screwdriver if you don't try to beat the thing into submission. Is it on the underside too? Nope, it's just a stuck plug. Wait, that wasn't even the plug I was working on. There you go. Looks like one more over here. Haha, the one on the other side I never thought of undoing. Success! I'll just put that control knob back on and act like I was never here. Here's a wire tuck for you. Next up, I'm going to remove the door sills. I think they just pull up. Yep. I'll do that to the other side as well. Then I'm going to remove the kick panel. I think there's just one plug down here. Now let's see if it comes out. Perhaps not. Maybe there is more. Nope. Just need more force. Passenger side didn't even have the plug in it to hold it in. Alright everybody, I think I'm going to call it quits. As you can see, I got shirt soaked again in sweat, which is always a great thing. But like every episode, I want to end it with starting up the car. Oh snap, the gangster. So obviously it still runs, so that's good. If I was a guessing man, I'd say we got about 2/5 of the interior out. We still have quite a ways to go. Actually, the next step is probably going to be a lot harder. That's going to be removing the entirety of the dash and possibly the steering column. So that's going to wrap it up for this episode of $1,000 Car Guy. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned. The project will continue. I gotta say, it's pretty nice not having to worry where all those little tiny screws go. I hate keeping track of that stuff. Oh snap, the gangster.